Last time on 3 Minute Mentor we talked about a book on Monday morning leadership. Today we're going to explore chapter 4, the Do Right Rule, and focus on honesty, integrity and transparency. Okay, let's start with honesty. Now it may seem a strange place to start, but the history of business is littered with failures caused by a lack of honesty. If you don't believe me, think of a company like Enron. They didn't start out wanting to be dishonest. It crept up on them. They made a bad decision which they weren't clear about. They overspun something to make it sound a bit more positive. Maybe they told a white lie because it was easier than telling the truth. And all of a sudden, it builds up to a point where they can't substantiate it anymore. It mounts up, and in somebody's eyes, they're lying. And in that case, they probably are. In advertising, there's a phrase, truth in advertising. For our words, let's put it a different way. Don't say something you believe not to be true. Or as my mother would say, if you can't say anything honest, don't say anything at all. Second of all, let's talk about integrity. That's less about what you say and more about what you do. But like honesty, it's a binary thing. You either have it or you don't. You're either exhibiting it or you're not. Do you stick by your commitments? Do you treat people equally? Are you ethical in your decisions? Do you admit to your mistakes? All of these things are about your integrity. Someone once asked me if there were levels of integrity, and my answer is no. Look, and I don't care what somebody else did. What I care about is what I do and whether I can sleep at night. And I think that's what's important about integrity, is setting a place for yourself. And integrity is a huge thing for a leader to have. And if you lose it, you're really going to find it hard to get it back. If you have to have a motto, let it be this: don't do unto others which you wouldn't want done to yourself. Okay, let's talk about transparency. Now, transparency means different things in different companies, but for me, what it's about is being as open and honest as you can when you communicate your decisions to the people you work with. You have to take responsibility for what you do and what you've been asked to do. You cannot blame others. Wherever possible, I try and make sure someone has all the facts and all the decisions that went into the conclusion we've got to. I don't hide, I don't blame. And while it's not always possible, when you try and hide and when you try and blame, it always comes back and bites you. Look, the bottom line here is that honesty, integrity and transparency are not always the easiest things to do right, but they're always the right things to do. And if you don't, they'll come back and find you in the end.